Top famous singers who died in a plane crash. There's no doubt that the fear of a plane crash is amongst the most common fears that people harbor. The very thought of something going wrong mid-air and the plane plunging down to the earth is enough to make some people develop a real fear of flying. Unfortunately, plane crashes have taken many more than just a few musicians over the past decades. Here's the list of some of the most famous singers and musicians who died in plane crashes. But before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. Jim Croce. Jim Croce was an American folk singer and songwriter. He released 5 studio albums between 1966 and 1973 before his untimely death in 1973. On September 20th, 1973, at the height of his popularity and the day before the lead single to his 5th album, I Got a Name, was released, Croce and 5 others died in a plane crash. His music continued to chart throughout the 1970s following his death. Number 9. Otis Redding. Otis Redding was an American singer-songwriter, record producer, talent scout, and arranger who had a net worth equal to $10 million at the time of his death. He was one of the most powerful and influential artists to emerge from the Southern soul music community in the 60s. 50 years ago, on December 10, 1967, a private plane carrying Otis Redding and the members of his touring band stalled on its final approach to the municipal airport in Madison, Wisconsin, and crashed into the waters of Lake Monona, killing all but 1 of the 8 people on board, though Redding was only 26 years old at the time of his death. Number 8. Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly was an American musician and singer-songwriter and a pioneer of rock and roll. Although his success lasted only a year and a half before his death in an airplane crash, Holly is described by critic Bruce Eder as the single most influential creative force in early rock and roll. Buddy Holly could have been a country singer or pop crooner, could have and probably would have fitted his talent to whatever music was happening when he came along. His works and innovations inspired and influenced contemporary and later musicians, notably the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, and Elvis Costello, and exerted a profound influence on popular music. He died in the Iowa plane crash near Clear Lake on February 3, 1959, after a performance at the Surf Ballroom. Number 7. Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy was voted the most popular Western actor in America in 1955 by motion picture exhibitors. In 1950, Audie Murphy was the most decorated soldier in U.S. history, winning numerous medals from the Congressional Medal of Honor down. His exploits were the subject of To Hell and Back in the USA in 1956, in which he starred as himself. Audie Murphy became a national hero during World War II as the most decorated combat soldier of the war. Among his 33 awards was the Medal of Honor, the highest award for bravery that a soldier can receive. In 1971, at the age of 46, Murphy died in the crash of a private plane near Roanoke, Virginia. Audie Murphy is buried in Section 46 just across from the Memorial Amphitheater. Number 6. Aaliyah. Aaliyah Dana Houghton was an American singer, actress, and model. The singer, performer, and actress was just 22 years old when she died. Despite being so young, she had already released 3 best-selling albums. She was also briefly married to the now disgraced singer R. Kelly. She and friends had boarded a plane to the Bahamas after shooting a new music video, and the plane sadly crashed just after takeoff, killing all on board. The investigation saw that the pilot had drugs in his system and that the plane had been overloaded. Number 5. Melanie Thornton. Melanie Thornton, 34, an American pop singer who made a name for herself in Germany with the duo La Bouche, was among the victims of an airliner crash in Switzerland. Thornton was traveling from Berlin to Zurich for a live performance when her plane went down in a wooded area near Zurich's airport. On the night of November 24, 2001, Thornton died in the crash of Croce Flight 3597 near Zurich, Switzerland, at the age of 34. Number 4. John Denver. Henry Don Duschendorf Jr., known professionally as John Denver, was an American singer and songwriter, record producer, actor, activist, and humanitarian, whose greatest commercial success was as a solo singer. After traveling and living in numerous locations while growing up in his military family, Denver began his music career with folk music groups during the late 1960s. Denver died on the afternoon of October 12, 1997. The 53-year-old Denver was an experienced pilot, even though his license had been suspended following drunk driving incidents. The investigation after the crash determined Denver probably wanted to switch fuel tanks in flight, but pressed the button for the rudder pedal by mistake. This made him lose control of the plane. Number 3. Troy Gentry. Troy Gentry was a native of the United States and, together with Eddie Montgomery, formed one half of the country music duet known as Montgomery Gentry. Since they first started performing together in the early 1990s, they have had a string of success with the publication of half a dozen studio albums. On September 8, 2017, Gentry took a helicopter ride before a show in Medford, New Jersey. Pilot error and a fail by maintenance personnel were eventually blamed for a crash that killed the 50-year-old Montgomery Gentry guitarist. Number 2. Jenni Rivera. Long Beach City College alumna Jenni Rivera was a successful singer, businesswoman, and budding actress when she died in a 2012 plane crash after a concert in Mexico. She was 43. Rivera had 15 gold records, 15 platinum, and 5 double platinum records, with more than 15 million records sold in all. Number 1. Ricky Nelson. Teenage Ricky Nelson launched his pop career in 1957 by picking up a guitar and singing at the end of an episode of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. He established a template for pop music stardom that inspired hundreds of imitators in the decades that followed. American pop singer Ricky Nelson died during the attempted crash landing of his band's aircraft on December 31, 1985. The plane, a Douglas D-3, was brought down mid-flight outside DeKalb, Texas, by a fire that rapidly spread from a suspected faulty in-cabin heater. Thank you for watching. If you liked our video, then hit the subscribe button to never miss out on any of our videos. See you next time.